think that often in our community, we stray away from science. So when we think about mental illness, it's like, oh, just pray it away or the Lord's going to cure it. And nobody's talking about neurotransmitters or trauma or your amygdala, right? Or how your limbic system definitely impacts what's going on. And so my why is to bring science to an understandable level for parents, children, teachers, the community, so that we can achieve wellness without keeping mental health as some sort of stigma or mystery.
You guys could probably tell me more than I could tell you about the branding part. Just going back to that, making sure that you're branding yourself in a way that you want to be represented. Because again, as juniors and seniors, that's something you need to be thinking about from here forward.
Because if you're doing really, really intensive work, you really should have an exit strategy, right? It doesn't mean that anything has gone wrong, but you have to think about yourself in your different phases of life. Right now, you are very different from who you will be in 10 years. You'll be very different from that 10 years from then. And then by the time you're 40, like me, you will be in a totally different place. Things mean different things to you. So generally there's like the paper chase, right? You're looking for all money and all these things, and nothing's wrong with that. But just remember, maintaining those things kind of chip away at you if you're not doing the proper self-care. So always have an exit strategy, always have a transition plan ahead of time before you're burned out, right?
I love taking care of people, and sometimes me taking care of people go overboard to where I spread myself thin. I join an organization, a fraternity, I join school organizations, and sometimes I spread myself thin, but also I remember I love me. And I would never allow nobody to spread me too thin. Sometimes I get caught up, but then I come back to it.
It's very important to have friends and support. There are people in my life who I don't make a move without running it past them. And I don't mean in a codependent kind of way, right? I don't mean like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe without you. But it's like, you want to have people in your life that you rely upon. You have to have good girlfriends and guy friends.
I like to use a lot of humor with my families, and I also like to use a lot of personal examples because I just don't mind sharing about myself, which is another example of boundaries that I may cross that Dr. RJ doesn't. So I relate to my parents by telling them personal things. The number one thing people want to know when I become involved is, well, do you have kids? How you gonna tell me about my kids if you don't have them? Yes, I have a 17-year-old that I raised by myself. What else you want to know?
And so the tough part is the severity of the stories and being able to separate work and home. It takes a whole lot of work